Alrighty, my secondary math 1 class. It has been a minute since we have done some video notes. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so our last unit, this is actually going to be the last unit of the year. So that is awesome. We're going to have a few more notes and then your review and your test, and you will be pretty much done with this class. Okay, so what we are going to start talking about is area. Okay, so the area is basically if we were to fill in these shapes, okay, how much distance or what have you, so how many feet are in this one shape, how many feet are in this rectangle. Okay, so we're talking about area of rectangles and triangles. Okay, so let's go ahead and up here in our right hand corner, let's write our formulas for these guys. So the first is area of a rectangle. Okay, so that just means area of a rectangle. Okay, so area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay, and we'll talk about what that means in a second. And now we're going to have area of a triangle. Okay, the area of a triangle is 1/2 times base, B for base, times height, H for height. Okay, so now that we have both of those formulas written down, let's go ahead and use them. Okay, so the first 4 on our notes are rectangles, so we will be using the area of a rectangle formula. Okay, so let's go ahead and just write that again one more time. So area is length times width. Okay, well, let's go ahead and identify our length and our width. Okay, so we're going to make our length as this guy. That means our width, or how wide it is that guy. Okay, so if our area is length times width, well, we identified 12 as our length. So we have 12 for our length times 5 as our width. Okay, but remember, we have to include the units. Okay, this is 12 feet, and that's 5 feet. Okay, well, what is 12 times 5? We can go ahead and use a calculator if we want to. We have area 12 times 5, and we get 60. So we have 12 times 5. I'm actually going to write this out. But then we were also multiplying feet times feet. Okay, well, what we get when we do this is 12 times 5 is 60. But then feet times feet turns into feet squared. Okay, we must include the units squared. Okay, so 12 times 5 turned into 60, and feet times feet turned into feet squared. We must include the units squared. And there we go. That is our area. So 60 feet squared is what would fill up this rectangle. Okay, let's go ahead and do number 2. So we have our length times width. Let's go ahead and identify our length as this guy, 8. And that means that our width, or how wide it is, would be that guy, 4. 8 meters and 4 meters. Okay, so if we have our area equals length, 8 meters, times our width, 4 meters. Okay, well, what is our area? Okay, so our final area, what is 8 times 4? Okay, we're going to get 32. But then we have meters times meters, and that is what gives us our meters squared. Must include the units. Okay, let's actually make that note. Must include the units. That means feet, inches, meters, whatever it gives you. Okay, let's look at number 3. Okay, so which one is our length and which one is our width? Okay, well, I'm going to make 11.5 as our length, and that would mean that 10 would be our width. Okay, so the area is always our length times width, so length is 11.5 yards multiplied by 10 yards. Okay, Now we just need to multiply these together. So our area, what is 11.5 times 10? We can use a calculator if we want. 0.5 times 10. And we get 115. Okay, so we get 115. Then we multiplied our yards and our yards. So yards squared. And that is our final answer. Okay, well, let's look at number 4 now. Okay, so what one are we identifying as length and what one are we identifying as width? Okay, so I'm going to make 9 kilometers my length. That means 11 kilometers is going to be my width. Okay, so let's go ahead and multiply these together. So my area is length, 9 kilometers, times my width, 11 kilometers. And let's go ahead and multiply these together. So I have 9 times 11. It's going to give me 99. And I have kilometers times kilometers. So I get kilometers squared. And that is our final answer. Beautiful. Okay, so 1 through 4, we were finding the area of rectangles. Okay, 5 through 8, we're finding the area of triangles. Okay, so we're going to have to use this formula right here, the area of a triangle. Okay, so the area of a triangle is 1/2, so let's write that again just to remind ourselves. Area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. Okay, well, let's identify which is our base and which is our height. Okay, think base of your triangle, the bottom. Okay, so this guy, 9 feet, is going to be my base, and height is how tall it is. Okay, be careful. Notice they didn't label like the sides going up. Okay, they label from the ground to the very top of the triangle. Okay, so this is my height. Okay, so now I'm going to plug these values into my formula. So I have area equals 1/2. The 1/2 doesn't change. We didn't have to plug that in anywhere. Times base. My base is 9 feet. Times my height, 8.3 feet. Okay. So this is where I might want to use a calculator because we're going to have some decimals here, and that's okay. So I'm going to take 1/2 times 9 times 8.3. Okay, so I have 1/2 or 0.5, you can do that in your calculator too, times 9 times 8.3. And I get 37.35. So area equals 37.35, but what is my units? Okay, we multiplied feet times feet, so we get feet squared. And that is our final answer. Okay, let's look at number 6. Okay, this one's kind of different because we don't have a measurement for the bottom of our triangle. So which do you think is the base and which do you think is the height? Okay, well, just imagine that we would flip this triangle on its side. Okay, this 6 would become my base. And then how tall it is from that base up to the very top is my height. Okay, so I have 6 meters for my base, 2.5 meters for my height. So let's go ahead and plug that in. So we have area equals 1/2 times my base, 6 meters, times my height, 2.5 meters. Okay, and let's go ahead and multiply this. So I have 1/2 times 6 times 2.5. Okay, so I'm going to plug this into my calculator. So I have 1/2 or 0.5 times 6 times 2.5. And I get 7.5. Okay, so the area of this triangle is 7.5 what? What are my units? Okay, I multiplied meters times meters, so I get meters squared. And there we go. Okay, last two examples. Let's look at number 7. Okay, what is my base and what is my height on number 7? Okay, so I have my base is 9. My height, how tall it is 9.4. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug it into our formula. Area of this triangle equals 1/2 times base, which is 9 feet, times my height, which is 9.4 feet. Okay, let's go ahead and multiply this. We have 1/2 times 9 times 9.4. Okay, let's plug this into our calculator. 0.5 or 1/2 times 9 times 9.4. And I get 42.3. Area equals 42.3. What are my units? Okay, I multiplied feet times feet, so feet squared. And that is our final answer. Okay, let's look at number 8. What is my base and what is my height? I have a base of 7 yards and a height of 4.2 yards. So let's go ahead and plug it in. So area equals 1/2 times my base, 7 yards, times my height, 4.2 yards. And now we can go ahead and multiply this. 1/2 times 7 times 4.2. Plug it in my calculator. 0.5 times 7 times 4.2. And I get 14.7. So the area is 14.7. What are my units? Whoops. What are my units? So I multiplied yards times yards. So I get yards squared. Okay, with area, remember it always has to be units squared. Alrighty, those are your notes for today. They are short and sweet, and there is an assignment that goes with them.